It appears that WWE may have some very big changes within its creative with everything that's happening with Vince McMahon. So we'll get to that. Paul Heyman, Triple H, what they might be involved with. Also, AEW might not have their top star at Forbidden Door, and this is unfortunate news, but we're going to talk about it. And then, of course, we got to talk about this massive update in regards to Ric Flair. So let's just kind of jump into it. Guys, Ric Flair's last match is moving over to the 7,000-seat Nashville Municipal Auditorium. Originally, it was supposed to take place at the Nashville Fairgrounds, but they sold out in less than 24 hours. Jim Crockett Promotions, Ric Flair last match. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about this because who knows if Ric Flair is in the condition to be wrestling. And I say that very loosely. I've been against this idea for a minute now, so not much has really changed there. But if you guys are interested in Ric Flair having his last match, enjoy it. It's going to be on Fight TV exclusively. And I believe this takes place July 31st. So a lot of people are obviously talking about this. Obviously, a lot of people are interested because they had to move the arena. So I guess good for them. Ric Flair, I guess, still technically draws, but I'm just not interested in this. For anybody who is, enjoy it, I guess. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. Now let's get to the really good stuff, my friends, because we're going to talk about Triple H and Paul Heyman. Very interesting stuff. I thought this was a very, very interesting article. Jim Parsons from thesportster.com. According to one source, when the smoke clears and the dust settles on the changes to management structure in WWE, both Triple H and Paul Heyman might be very happy men and in very powerful positions, as per a report by Wade Keller of PWTorch.com. Paul Heyman gets along really well with Hunter and Stephanie, and I can totally see Paul Heyman taking on a bigger role in creative. Now, these comments are based on the idea that Stephanie could take over as CEO full-time on a permanent basis, something Keller seems to think is possible based on the information he's gathered. Some of the things I'm hearing makes me consider the possibility of worthy of conversation that this could result in Stephanie taking over as head of the company and Triple H, and I saw speculation of this on Twitter. Look, guys, this is the biggest news story in a very, very long time. And I've told people before, you could form your own opinions on the Vince McMahon stuff. There's an ongoing investigation. The facts will come out and people can then chime in on that with me. But for now, let's talk about WWE Creative. Because my audience sees when I praise wrestling, but my God, they see when I criticize, whether it's WWE or AEW. And if you guys watch me on The Angle Show live on Twitch, the link is in the description down below. You should follow me there, because I go live and I talk about wrestling long form, and we have very interesting conversations there. WWE and AEW, I don't really give a shit about which one you're actually watching every single day. I don't really care which one you like the most. I feel like both companies need to improve. Both companies need to improve. You can provide good television, and you could provide good storylines here and there, and you can do the right decision making here and there. But the thing is, wrestling right now, I think for a lot of people, is just, it's there. It doesn't take priority for a lot of people over the NBA Finals. It doesn't take priority for people over NHL or MLB playoffs or anything like that. Because deep down inside, wrestling is there 52 weeks a year, and you'll always have it. So skipping an episode is not a big deal. But the thing is, with wrestling, what it really comes down to is creative. There's nothing that feels must-see right now. Cody Rhodes is injured. AEW's Kenny Omega is injured. WWE's issue is not necessarily their ability to tell stories. I think everybody knows deep down inside, WWE can tell a good story and make good decisions. But when you're running back Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for the millionth time, it does get a little bit, like, hey, I will go watch the NBA Finals instead because I've already seen this shit so many times. So my point that I'm making to everybody today is I don't know what the hell's going to happen with Vince McMahon and WWE and who's going to run the show. But if there's two people that I trust running a creative department for the WWE, Paul Heyman and Triple H are those two individuals I would have take the lead. Is this going to happen? I don't know. Is Stephanie McMahon going to be permanently CEO? I don't know. We are just going off of the words from Wade Keller. Obviously, Wade does have a pretty good history with some of his stories and stuff. But my point that I'm making, Triple H and Paul Heyman are two creative geniuses. And the fact is, WWE and Vince McMahon right now do not tap into them as they should. Simple as that. I like characters in wrestling. I trust Paul Heyman and Triple H to continue the formula and build characters. But I also want to see logical stuff happening within the organization when it comes to matches being put together, when it comes to match decisions. 50-50 booking needs to go away. DQ finishes all the time need to go away. These are things that I think Triple H and Paul Heyman can fix. But these companies, they're doing pretty damn well for not doing great content, in my opinion. They're okay. They're doing good, but they're not freaking amazing. And both of these companies have the most amazing potential to do amazing things, and they're not. Nonetheless, that's going to bring us to our final story of today's video. This is a shitty situation for AEW and its fans, because I think everybody knows deep down inside this was one of the things that we kind of wanted when this signing was made announced. Bryan Danielson signed to AEW, and everybody thought, wow, we can't wait to see Bryan Danielson in New Japan. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that might be the case. So, as of right now, there has been no official confirmation that Bryan Danielson will be taking place in a match at Forbidden Door. And this is because as of last week, as of 5 days ago, he was not medically cleared to compete. Now, obviously, I mentioned to you guys before that Zack Sabre Jr. has already issued the big challenge. They've already teased a little bit of it, but they have not gone through with this. Now, the thing is, Forbidden Door is already going to be a great pay-per-view on paper, right? We're already seeing how the card stacks up. We have a lot of big matches. Bryan Danielson missing the pay-per-view, honest to God, I really don't believe it's that big of a deal. Because the cool thing is, once Bryan Danielson is actually cleared, you can have Zack Sabre Jr. on an episode of Dynamite. Main event. Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. for 60-minute time limit. You can do something like this on TV if you really want to. Granted, I think it would be better for the pay-per-view, but I'm just saying it's not a missed opportunity because you could always come back to it and make it feel larger than life. Now, the thing is, this is a very tricky situation because AEW did reference Zack Sabre Jr. on Rampage. But as of right now, Danielson is not cleared. So is Danielson going to be cleared for AEW Forbidden Door? As of right now, he is not. Obviously, that can change. But I think it is obvious if Bryan Danielson is on the pay-per-view, it's him and Zack Sabre Jr. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll keep you updated.